Hello, everyone, and welcome to my channel. I'd like to ask you an honest question. Has your evening ever passed by in a rush, leaving you feeling tired and restless, lying in bed with your mind still spinning, unable to sort out your thoughts? Have you ever wondered whether the things you do before bedtime are truly helping your brain rest and recover, or whether they're silently dragging down your memory and emotional clarity? What if I told you there's a simple, pressure-free, and enjoyable way to turn each evening into a golden time for your brain and spirit? Would you want to try it? Today, I'd like to invite you to discover something incredibly important that many older adults unintentionally overlook. 6 evening habits that help your brain recover and recharge after 60. These are not complicated methods or things that require special skills. They are simple actions that, when done consistently, can bring noticeable improvements to both your memory and mood. The older we get, the more our brain needs care, and the time from late afternoon until bedtime is the perfect window to do that. I once spoke with Margaret, 67 years old, living in Texas. She shared that her evenings used to be filled with worry and fatigue. Thoughts would swirl around in her mind, unfinished tasks and random worries keeping her awake, making her forgetful and anxious. But when she began to adjust her evening habits, everything changed. And I truly believe that if you try, you'll feel the difference too. The first habit I want to share is creating a calm, relaxing space before going to bed. It sounds simple, but your environment has a big impact on your brain state. When the lighting is soft, noises are reduced, and everything around you is tidy, your brain receives signals that it's time to rest. Margaret started by gently tidying her bedroom each night, adding a warm yellow bedside lamp, and diffusing a few drops of lavender essential oil. After just a week, she found that she fell asleep more easily and woke up feeling refreshed. According to neuroscientists, a calm and friendly environment encourages the brain to produce more melatonin, the hormone that regulates deep sleep and helps restore brain cells. This, in turn, supports memory retention and focus the next day. The next habit is journaling or jotting down positive things from your day. I know some people think writing is only for the young, but that's not true. Writing down what you've accomplished, even small things like cooking a delicious meal or calling an old friend, helps your brain organize information, store memories better, and reduce stress. George, 70, from California, once admitted that he used to feel irritable and that his days felt meaningless. But after dedicating just 5 minutes each night to writing down 3 things that made him happy, his mood changed significantly. Scientists have also shown that the habit of recording positive moments helps strengthen neural connections in areas of the brain associated with memory and emotions, and over time, can help combat cognitive decline. Another habit I'd like to mention is turning off electronic devices at least 30 minutes before bedtime. This is something many of us forget. The blue light from phones, TVs, or computers suppresses melatonin production and keeps the brain in a state of alertness, making it hard to relax. Linda, 68, from New York, once shared that she used to watch the news before bed and ended up with restless sleep and morning fatigue. When she switched to reading a light book or listening to soothing music, her sleep quality improved dramatically. Studies also confirm that blue light not only disrupts sleep, but also increases the risk of early memory decline in older adults. So simply turning off devices and letting your mind rest before bed is like giving your brain a precious gift. There are still many simple yet incredibly effective habits waiting for you in the next part. Let's continue exploring together so that your evenings become not just a time for rest, but a chance to refresh your memory and strengthen your spirit each day. Now, building on everything we've already discussed, let's continue to explore more ways that your evenings can gently support your brain's recovery and renewal. One habit that often goes unnoticed is creating a moment of silence. In our busy lives, even after retirement, we can find ourselves surrounded by noise, television, phone calls, notifications, or simply the mental chatter that doesn't seem to stop. Dr. Robert Hayes, a neurologist specializing in cognitive health for seniors, explains that spending just 5 to 10 minutes in silence each evening helps the brain settle, process the day's information, and reduce sensory overload. Silence isn't just the absence of sound. It's a space for your mind to breathe. Take Emily, 71, from Chicago. She began dedicating a few minutes each night, to simply sit in her favorite chair, lights dimmed, eyes closed, no distractions. At first, it felt unfamiliar and even a little uncomfortable. But over time, she discovered that those moments became her favorite part of the day. Her thoughts became clearer, and she woke up feeling more focused. Another simple yet powerful practice is gentle breathing exercises. Deep, slow breathing signals to the nervous system that it's safe to relax. It slows the heart rate and reduces cortisol levels, the stress hormone that, if left unchecked, can harm both memory and mood. Dr. Hayes recommends a basic technique. Inhale slowly through the nose for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, and exhale gently for 6 to 8 seconds. Practicing this for just 5 minutes before bed can greatly improve sleep quality and mental clarity. Peter, 69, from New Hampshire, told me that he used a toss and turn at night, his mind filled with worries. But once he started a simple breathing practice before sleep, his anxiety decreased, and he fell asleep more easily. Another gentle evening habit that supports the brain is reading, not on a screen, but with a real book. The act of reading stimulates the brain in a calm, focused way and helps shift attention from daily worries to stories or knowledge that enrich the mind. Margaret, whom I mentioned earlier, enjoys historical novels in the evening. She says it feels like traveling in her mind without leaving her room, and her dreams became more vivid and peaceful. The power of gratitude cannot be overstated. Ending the day by acknowledging even the smallest blessings helps the brain release dopamine and serotonin, neurotransmitters associated with happiness and relaxation. Writing down or simply speaking aloud 3 things you're grateful for can change your entire emotional landscape. Linda, 68, keeps a small jar on her nightstand. Each evening, she writes 1 thing she's grateful for on a slip of paper and drops it into the jar. On difficult days, she reads through those notes and is reminded of the many good things in her life. And finally, visualization is a beautiful tool to prepare the brain for both rest and readiness. Before closing your eyes, gently imagine a peaceful scene, a quiet beach, a forest path, or a favorite memory. This practice not only helps the mind let go of tension, but also nurtures creative thinking and problem-solving skills. John, 72, uses visualization to replay happy moments with his grandchildren. He says those images stay with him through the night and leave him feeling joyful when he wakes. These gentle practices are like small, thoughtful gifts you give yourself each night, and there's still more we can explore together. So, let's continue this journey to make every evening a nurturing ritual for your mind and heart. Building on what we've explored so far, let's continue diving into other evening habits that can nurture the brain and bring balance to both mind and body after the age of 60. One often overlooked habit is sipping a warm herbal tea before bedtime. This simple act not only relaxes the body, but also signals to the brain that the day is coming to a close. According to Dr. Laura Benson, an expert in senior wellness, herbal teas such as chamomile, lemon balm, or passion flower can naturally reduce stress levels and promote deeper sleep. The warmth of the tea also soothes the digestive system, which, as research shows, has a direct link to brain health through the gut-brain axis. Take Helen, 70, from San Diego. She used to struggle with restless sleep and frequent waking during the night. After adding a routine of sipping chamomile tea while listening to soft instrumental music, her nights became calmer and her mind clearer by morning. Another gentle evening practice is engaging in light reflection. Instead of focusing on what went wrong during the day, Dr. Benson suggests spending a few moments thinking about what went well, even small victories. This reflection helps shift the mind from worry to appreciation, reinforcing positive thought patterns and releasing dopamine, which enhances both mood and memory. Richard, 68, from Boston, shared that he once used to fall asleep dwelling on unfinished tasks and regrets. But when he began spending 5 minutes each night listing things he felt good about, whether it was a pleasant conversation or completing a small chore, he noticed that his dreams became more peaceful and he woke with a more positive outlook. Stretching and gentle movement, especially focusing on the neck, shoulders, and back, also help relieve tension accumulated throughout the day. Dr. Benson highlights that physical tension often translates into mental tension, making it harder to fall asleep. A few simple stretches can release tightness and encourage the brain to switch into rest mode. George, 73, from Denver, practices slow shoulder rolls and gentle neck stretches while standing near his bed. He reports feeling not only more relaxed physically, but also mentally lighter as he prepares to sleep. An evening habit that also deserves attention is reducing stimulation from loud noises or intense conversations. Dr. Benson explains that overstimulating the brain close to bedtime can delay the production of melatonin and keep the mind overly alert. Janet, 71, from Seattle, used to end her evenings watching fast-paced television shows. After switching to soothing background music and quieter activities like puzzles or knitting, her sleep improved significantly. Finally, one powerful but often forgotten practice is writing a short letter to oneself. This doesn't have to be long, just a few lines expressing encouragement, kindness, or reminding oneself of one's strengths. Self-compassion before sleep can reinforce positive self-perception, which in turn fosters resilience and mental clarity. Carol, 74, from Ohio, writes herself a brief note each night, sometimes as simple as, "You did your best today." She says this small ritual leaves her with a sense of comfort and inner strength. All these habits, though small, can transform how you end your day and how your brain recovers overnight. In the next part, we'll look at ways to create your own personal evening routine that feels natural, nurturing, and sustainable for the long term. Continuing seamlessly from where we left off, let's now explore how you can thoughtfully design an evening routine that suits your lifestyle and becomes a gentle anchor for both your brain and body. The beauty of an evening routine is that it doesn't have to be rigid or complicated. In fact, the simpler and more personal it feels, the more effective it will be. Dr. Laura Benson often suggests starting with identifying what naturally soothes you. For some, it might be soft music. For others, the quiet act of folding clothes or watering plants. Take the example of Samuel, 72, from Portland. He discovered that watering his small indoor plants each evening gave him a sense of calm and purpose, signaling to his mind that the day was winding down. One valuable tip is to set a consistent time frame. Maybe you begin your routine an hour before bed, gradually transitioning into a slower pace. This window allows your brain to shift from the active mode of the day into restful preparation. Janet, 69, from Philadelphia, places a small clock on her nightstand as a visual cue to start her wind-down rituals. Another key piece is finding balance between activity and stillness. While some gentle movement, like stretching or slow walking, is beneficial, equally important is a time for stillness, whether that's meditation, reflection, or simple breathing exercises. Richard, 74, from Austin, combines both by doing light yoga followed by 5 minutes of quiet breathing, helping his body and mind align in readiness for sleep. An intentional environment makes a big difference. Dim lights, tidy surroundings, and soothing scents like lavender or sandalwood help signal to the brain that the day is ending. Emma, 70, from Seattle, keeps a small diffuser by her bedside and uses soft yellow light bulbs in her room. She says that this small change made her evenings feel like a warm embrace. Writing remains a powerful component of an evening routine. It doesn't have to be long or structured. Even jotting down a few thoughts, plans for tomorrow, or simple affirmations can help unburden the mind. Helen, 68, from Atlanta, keeps a notebook where she writes down 3 things she looks forward to the next day, shifting her thoughts from anxiety to anticipation. And don't underestimate the power of ending your evening with gentle gratitude. Taking a moment to thank yourself for the day's efforts, no matter how big or small, nurtures inner kindness and supports emotional resilience. George, 75, from New York, lights a small candle each night and silently lists moments of gratitude before extinguishing the flame. All these elements work together to form a nurturing rhythm that tells your brain it's safe to let go and recharge. In the next part, we'll explore common obstacles to maintaining these routines and simple ways to overcome them, ensuring that these evening habits become a natural, lasting part of your life. Continuing seamlessly from where we left off, let's now talk about the common challenges people face when trying to maintain an evening routine and simple, realistic ways to overcome them. It's natural for good intentions to sometimes get interrupted by daily life, but with a little patience and flexibility, These routines can become second nature. One of the most common obstacles is feeling too tired or unmotivated at the end of the day. Dr. Laura Benson suggests that instead of viewing your evening routine as another task on your to-do list, think of it as a gift you're giving yourself, a moment of peace and care. Samuel, 72, from Portland, initially struggled with this, but he found that reminding himself he deserved that quiet time shifted his mindset, making the process feel rewarding rather than burdensome. Another hurdle is inconsistency due to unexpected events or irregular schedules. Life can be unpredictable, but that doesn't mean your routine has to fall apart. Janet, 69, from Philadelphia, found that having a flexible structure rather than rigid rules helped. On busy evenings, she'd shorten her routine but still include at least one comforting ritual, like a short breathing exercise or writing down a single gratitude note. There's also the challenge of distractions, especially from electronic devices. George, 75, from New York, admitted that he used to scroll through his phone right up until bedtime. Replacing the habit with reading a book or listening to soft music was not easy at first, but over time, it became a new, healthier habit that he now cherishes. Some people worry that creating an evening routine will feel forced or unnatural, but routines are personal and should be tailored to your preferences. Emma, 70, from Seattle, didn't enjoy meditation, so she incorporated light stretching and aromatherapy instead. The key, according to Dr. Benson, is finding what genuinely brings you comfort. There may also be nights when you miss your routine altogether, and that's okay. Richard, 74, from Austin, emphasizes the importance of self-compassion. Missing one night doesn't mean starting over. It's just part of being human. The next night is a fresh opportunity. The final challenge is boredom or feeling like the routine has become repetitive. Keeping things fresh is important. Helen, 68, from Atlanta, rotates between different activities. Some evenings she journals. Other nights she sketches or listens to guided stories. This variety keeps her mind engaged and her routine enjoyable. These small adjustments and perspectives can help ensure your evening habits remain sustainable and joyful. In the next part, we'll tie everything together and explore how to turn these practices into lifelong habits that continually support brain health and emotional well-being. Continuing seamlessly from where we left off, let's now bring all these ideas together and explore how to turn these evening practices into lifelong habits that nurture your brain and soothe your spirit. Dr. Laura Benson emphasizes that the most important aspect of any habit is consistency built on kindness to oneself. When these gentle rituals are practiced regularly, they become moments you look forward to rather than tasks you must complete. Take the example of Peter, 70, from Boston. He began with simple breathing exercises and reading before bed. Over time, these small acts became non-negotiable parts of his evening, like brushing his teeth. He now refers to his nighttime routine as his personal retreat. Creating visual or sensory cues can make habits easier to maintain. Soft lighting, the scent of calming oils, or even a favorite piece of music can remind your brain that it's time to slow down. Margaret, 68, from San Francisco, uses a particular lamp that she only turns on at night, signaling to her mind that it's time to let go of the day. Another helpful step is tracking your routine in a simple way. Some people mark a calendar or use a small notebook to jot down what they did that evening. This not only reinforces consistency, but also gives a sense of accomplishment. George, 74, from Seattle, keeps a small chart in his bedroom, and he says that watching those marks build up each week gives him quiet satisfaction. Occasionally revisiting and adjusting your routine keeps it fresh. Dr. Benson suggests reviewing every few months to see what's working and what could use a change. Janet, 71, from Portland, recently added a short gratitude prayer to her routine after finding that writing alone didn't feel as fulfilling. Most importantly, remember that evening habits are a form of self-respect. They tell your brain and heart that you deserve peace, care, and rest. Emma, 69, from Chicago, shared that after a few months of following her routine, not only did her sleep improve, but her mornings also became brighter and more focused. As we come to the end of this journey, let's gently recap. We've explored how simple evening habits can help your brain recover, improve sleep, ease stress, and foster emotional well-being. We've seen how small actions, from breathing exercises and quiet reflection to stretching and gratitude, can transform how you end each day. If you haven't started yet, tonight is the perfect time. Begin with one small habit that feels natural and comforting. Maybe it's turning off your devices earlier or writing down one thing you're grateful for. Over time, these small steps will build into a rhythm that nurtures you night after night. I would love to hear about your evening routines. What helps you feel calm and rested? Have you discovered any habits that make your mind feel clearer and your heart lighter? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. And if this conversation has brought value to you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Together, we can continue learning and growing, supporting each other on this wonderful journey of staying mentally and emotionally vibrant after 60. Thank you for spending this time with me. Wishing you peaceful evenings, restful sleep, and bright, joyful mornings ahead.